Winning Blueprint presents.
5 minutes or less.
I'm back with the 5 minute or less series. I had so much success with it before. I'm back with it again, this time the 5 minute or less schedule release series. Welcome, I'm your host Lou. Thank you for joining me, and I'm here with the schedule release talking about the Denver Broncos. I got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So anytime I look at a schedule, the first thing I like to look at are your prime time games. And for the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos, almost winning the Super Bowl. Look, what do you expect? They got 5 primetime games, the maximum amount. So what did you expect? You look at Thursday night, they got 2 of them. Kickoff weekend, this was supposed to be a home game for the Baltimore Ravens as they won the Super Bowl. It's not. It's a home game for the Denver Broncos. That's some kind of quirk with the scheduling with the baseball team in Baltimore, the Orioles, and the Ravens couldn't get on the same page. Whatever the case, it's beneficial to the Denver Broncos. They're at home week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. You look at week 15, you're at home for San Diego on Thursday Night Football. That's a divisional game, going to be a tough matchup. See if they can get it done at home against the Chargers. Week 7 on Sunday Night Football. This is a big one. At Indy, Peyton Manning goes back to his old stomping grounds. That is going to be a huge game. That's going to be a media circus. And, they're going to eat it all up in the media. That's going to be a huge game. You look at week 12 at New England. That's always a huge game. Brady versus Manning, always a huge matchup, always a huge deal. Week 12, you're on Sunday Night Football at New England. You look at Monday Night Football, and you're at home for the Raiders in week 3. That's a game that the Broncos normally win. Don't know what the cards may hold for you, but got the Oakland Raiders coming to your place in week 3 for Monday Night Football. So you look at divisional games. San Diego, you got them at home in week 15. You got to go to San Diego in week 10. You look at Oakland, you got them coming to your place in week 3. We just talked about it. That's a Monday night matchup. You look at week 17, you got to go to Oakland to close out the season. You look at Kansas City, week 11, you got them at home. You got to go to Kansas City in week 13. So we're talking about playing the Chiefs twice in a 3-week stretch from weeks 11 to 13. So that's going to be a very quick turnaround. See if you can get the Chiefs twice in a very short span. You look at anomalies on the schedule. And for me, an anomaly is any stretches of football where you got 3 home or away games straight. 3 out of 4 on the road or at home, or 4 out of 5 on the road or at home. The Broncos have both a home and an away anomaly. You look at the home anomaly, 3 out of 4 at home. Week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. Week 3 versus the Oakland Raiders. Those are 2 primetime matchups. And then week 4, you got the Philadelphia Eagles at home to start the season. So you're at home 3 out of the 4 games to start the season. That's huge. Try to win all 4 of those games if you can. You look at the away anomaly. That's later on in the season. You got 3 out of 4 again, but this time on the road. Week 10 at San Diego. Week 12 at New England. Week 13 at Kansas City. So just like you had it made at the beginning when you went 3 out of 4 at home, now you got 3 out of 4 on the road. Week 9 is your bye week. That's probably as solid as it gets. It splits the season right down the middle. You couldn't ask for it any other way. That's as good as it gets in the National Football League, a week 9 bye for the Denver Broncos. You look at Coatsy, and for me, Coatsy is circle on the calendar games. And of course, we know exactly what that game is going to be for the Denver Broncos this year. It's week 7 at Indianapolis, Sunday Night Football. Peyton Manning returns to Indianapolis. You get the old Indy star versus the new upstart in Indy and Andrew Luck. It's going to be, again, a media frenzy, and they're going to eat it up, and they're going to hype this game up to epic proportions. And so get ready for that, Broncos fans, as you will not be able to avoid it. So just get used to it, Broncos fans, because you are going to have to deal with this. It's not going away. But timeout. Timeout. Every schedule, to me, in the National Football League has some sort of timeout on it. And for me, the timeouts on this schedule are that the Broncos are a 5-star team. What I mean by that is that the NFL allows a maximum of 5 primetime games. And guess what? The Broncos have 5 primetime games, which makes them a 5-star football team. There are only 9 of them in the league. The Broncos are one of them. Also, a timeout on this schedule. Did the Broncos win a Super Bowl last year? How did they get that home game? We talked about it already. It's a quirk in the scheduling. The Baltimore Ravens and the Baltimore Orioles weren't on the same page. The Denver Broncos are the beneficiary. Who knew? And you hear that sound in the background. That means this has been the Denver Broncos schedule release in 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less.